Hello, welcome to today's class on child abuse. Child abuse, okay? Child abuse is one of the greatest social issues in our modern world, okay? Today we'll discuss on the forms of child abuse, which takes the forms of child marriage, child soldiers, and child labor. What is child abuse? This is any physical punishment or verbal attacks on a child's character. Child abuse. This is any physical punishment or verbal attack on a child's character. So child abuse is barbaric. Child abuse, it's not encouraged in our present society, but some people are always found wanting. Now, we want to look at the nature of the physical abuse that children go through. They include hitting, bruising, slapping, pushing, pinching, punching, spitting, kicking, throwing objects at them. These are the various forms of physical abuse. Okay? Oftentimes, children are being abused physically, and it is not the best because it keeps an emotional effect for a very long time. Now, I want to look at the other form of abuse, which is the verbal abuse. Okay, verbal abuse is more of emotional and it kills. It includes screaming, yelling, calling names like stupid, dumb, ugly, threatening with bodily harm if child wants to tell. So verbal abuse is very bad. Children should not be exposed to verbal abuse. Now, we want to look at the forms of child abuse. Like we said earlier, it comes in terms of child marriage, child labor, and child soldiers. So these are forms of child abuse that children are subjected to. The image before you is that of a child soldier. Okay, the recruitment of children to take up arms. So countries where child soldiers are still recruited in conflicts: Nigeria, Afghanistan, Iraq, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Somalia. We have Central African Republic, Yemen, South Sudan, Syria, Yemen. These countries, they recruit children that are less than 18 years of age to fight war. Some are even under the age of 10 years. And this is very terrible. Children are exposed to violence and it's not the best. Okay? Now, these are form of child abuse because this child was sexually abused and she got pregnant and then is having a baby at an underage. So this is child abuse. Now, the other form is child labor. Child labor, okay? In many countries, children that are less than 10 years are being subjected to do all manner of work, okay? Child labor is that work that harms children or keeps them away from attending school. So any work that harms children and keep them away from attending school is known as child labor. Look at these children, they are underage, going into trading to make money for either their parents or for their own personal survival. So all these are forms of abuse when children hawk on the street. So this is child labor. Now, organizations that fight child abuse. We have United Nations Children's Fund. It was formerly known as United Nations Children's Emergency Fund, but now it is known as United Nations Children's Fund. That's UNICEF. Save the Children with Charity, Child's Rights International Network, Defense for Children International, and so many other organizations that fight child abuse in the world. Now, so hello to our parents at home. We got some news, but not very pretty one. 1 out of 4 girls or 1 out of 20 boys will be sexually abused by the time they get to 18. We're still talking about our children, our sons, daughters, cousins, nieces, nephews. 90% of sexual abuse on our children, it's often connected to people who they know. So it could be a stepmother, a neighbor, an uncle, a clergy, a coach. How does it happen? It starts with parents entrusting their children or wards to the care of adults who take advantage of these children unknowingly. Oftentimes, children are being warned not to tell, they are being threatened in all forms. This must be our secret. Ensure you don't tell. And often, children don't really comprehend what was actually happening to them. Children that are abused become so emotionally depressed, their life turns upside down, and most times they become victims of drug abuse because they try to take solace. Wait, is this what we actually want for our kids? No. What can we do? It's important we talk to our kids so they can always come to us and share whatever they are passing through. Start when they are young. Start by teaching them about your private parts, that no one is supposed to touch it, and tell me if someone tries. No secrets, so that when kids start trusting us, we learn how to listen to them, and then they find succor. They will always tell us everything and they won't keep secrets from us. So it's very important that we listen to our kids and make them feel very free when they're at home. Keep kids safe. What happens next? When they are at home, they become the best they can be, and together we can all keep our kids safe from abuse. Talk and listen. Now, what parents can actually do to prevent child abuse? First, know what child abuse is, know the symptoms, first of all, and explain the injuries, depression, fear of certain person or place. Pay attention to anxiety, difficulty, trusting others, or sudden changes in eating or sleeping patterns, inappropriate sexual behavior, poor hygiene, secrecy, and hostility. Others include that you should report abuse, teach children their rights, settle conflicts without hitting, yelling, or screaming. Children learn a lot from things that we do. When we become so aware, it's easy for us as parents and even for government to help stop child abuse. Thank you for listening to this lesson and watching the video. Please ensure to upload your assignment, and I wish you success in your forthcoming exams.